I got the Core NANO X 150 here. This is the V-Mount version. These are the brand new micro V-Mount batteries from Core SWX. I have been using the Nano Micros. I guess these are kind of the older version of these batteries, I guess, the 98 and 150. I've got a few more of these back at the house, but these have been my absolute favorite batteries for the Red Komodo-x and the Red ecosystem, and well, I mean, any camera, but I typically capture motion on the Red cameras. But there were a couple things about those batteries that I just was not a fan of, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But I finally got a production unit of the NANO X. I've been testing out a pre-production unit of the NANO X. This is the 98 watt hour version, and just a couple of things have changed with the pre-production unit to the production units. So I wanted to hold off on making a video about these until I got a full release version. And so we have the package here. So I figured while I am opening this up, talk about some of the things and features about these batteries, which I think at the end of this video, you'll agree with me that these are the absolute best batteries to get for your Komodo-x and V-raptor. All right, you get a battery wrapped in the plastic bag. So since that unboxing took absolutely zero time and I didn't even have time to go over anything, let's just talk about some of the standout features of the new NANO X batteries, and I will show you a little comparison to the older versions, because I brought a 98 and a 150 with me that I purchased years ago and have been using them for a very long time. So these are awesome batteries as well, but these are even better. So first up, they have this thing called an MLED display. So if you press the status button here on the top, this display will light up, and it's actually behind this polycarbonate casing, which they call their Next Core casing, and it is super strong. Like, they have a video on their YouTube channel where they like beat it with a mallet and stuff, and so kind of funny, but goes to show how durable these batteries are. So this MLED display, what it allows you to do is you see a battery percentage remaining, and then if you click it again, you can see the time remaining here. Now to the side, you can see these little wraparound LED indicators, and that's just really helpful because you can kind of see this from pretty much any angle. On the top, you have a USB Type-C, which is capable of 100 watts of power delivery. You've got USB Type-A on the top, and then you have P-Tap here as well. So pretty similar to the original Nano Micros, except the Nano Micros did not have USB Type-C. And that USB Type-C, you can actually charge the battery through the USB Type-C power delivery port, which is awesome because you can get those like dual or triple USB-C to, you know, mains power adapter things, and just bring two or three USB-C cables, depending how many batteries you have, and just charge them all up off of one outlet, which is pretty cool. And you don't have to bring like an entire V-mount charger bricks. So super helpful for staying super light and, you know, packing really light for traveling and whatnot. And they actually make a 45 watt USB Type-C charger, so you can charge your batteries on the go. And you can see this thing is super scratched. I got this at the same time as I got the 98 watt hour, and I have been using this a ton. And obviously you can see like it's been thrown in bags and cases and all that, because this is way more convenient to pack than a giant V-mount charger. So yeah, really cool that you can do that. Just a huge selling point to me. There are other batteries out there that can do that, but the placement of the ports and the ability to communicate battery info is a huge selling point for these batteries, and is why I only use Core batteries on my Red Komodo-x. Now another cool thing is on the back here, this is the V-mount version. It has a 1/4-20 threaded insert here, so you can mount it to for other different configurations when you're not mounting it to a V-mount plate. So that's super helpful. Now speaking of mounting to a V-mount plate, like on the Red Komodo-x, these fit perfectly on the Red Komodo-x because they are the micro size. And the thing I love about these is it communicates all the information through the Komodo-X, so you can get battery percentage and all that stuff on your monitor on the Komodo-X, so you can actually see what your percentage is and not just have to rely on working through voltage and whatnot. So if that's important to you, then these batteries are definitely worth a serious look at. And Core makes really good batteries. I mean, they actually make the Red branded micro V-mount batteries, and all of their micro batteries are Red approved, and these are really new, so I don't even know if they're on the website, the Red approved third-party accessories page, but I'm assuming that they're Red approved because the Nano Micros are, and I know Core has a really good relationship with Red, so yeah, if they're not already on the Red approved list, then I'm sure they will be very soon. Now, the last thing about these batteries is really cool has to do with this little icon right here. And this is basically a little RFID chip. And later this summer, they're gonna have an app called VoltBridge ID. You just tap your phone to the battery and you'll get all kinds of diagnostics and information on the batteries. And I was told that you'll actually be able to change the color of the status, the wraparound LED lights right here, to a different color, to I think red or blue or green, obviously. And this would be really helpful if you want to have, you know, another indication for maybe all of the green lights are 150s and all the blues are 98s, or all of A cam are going to be blue and all of B cam are going to be red and C cam are green, I don't know, whatever. So it's really cool that you can do that through the app, but also just the ability to just see the battery health of your batteries, and you can see how many cycles it's gone through and all a bunch of different data. But I think it's time to wrap this up because I have been talking about batteries for quite a long time. That means you have been listening, I assume, if you're still here, about batteries for quite a long time. So the NANO X batteries, highly recommend. I'll say they are the best micro batteries for your Komodo-X and v-raptor. Battery communication, the new display, like everything is a huge improvement. They're super durable and lightweight. But for me, there are two massive improvements on the NANO X batteries over the Nano Micros. Number one, the inclusion of USB Type-C, which is capable of power delivery. This is awesome for travel because you don't have to bring the Vmount charger, which we've already talked about, so it's really nice there, and it charges really fast. And then the other thing is the port covers. It's kind of, you can see it right here. There's actually a little tab right here that you can actually get to access the ports, and see how easy that was? Yeah. That might sound silly if you've never used the Nano Micros, but if you do have a bunch of Nano Micros, you will understand the pain of trying to get these open. If you don't have long nails, you better have a pocket knife to be able to get these open because it's just an absolute pain. Those two improvements alone are worth getting the NANO X over the Nano Micros. Now, if you have Nano Micros, doesn't make those batteries any worse. Like, they still power perfectly fine. But if you're in the market for some batteries, I would highly recommend going for the NANO X for your Komodo-X and v-raptor and pretty much any other camera, like I've said before. So that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about in this video. Thank you, Core, for sending these out to me to test. I've been a huge fan of them, really enjoyed these, and yeah, I'll leave links down in the description below. Thanks for watching. Peace.